Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90 Day. Stacey calls out Georgi for making jabs at sister Darcey's expense after she gets too drunk at anniversary party. I just feel like a lot of times I don't think it's fair the way Georgi treats my sister, Stacey Silva said in a confessional. Stacey Silva and Florian Sukic have joined Darcey Silva and Georgi Rusev for an epic anniversary party in Bulgaria, but Georgi has grown increasingly frustrated with his wife's antics. On the September 21st episode of 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, the two couples reunited for the first time in weeks at a Bulgarian dance studio where they prepared a special dance for Darcey and Georgi's upcoming wedding anniversary party. Darcey was excited to have her twin sister join her in Bulgaria for the big day, explaining to cameras, "My sister's never missed a big moment in my life." But Stacey was more concerned about her twins' relationship. "I want to show Darcey my love and support because I just feel like a lot of times I don't think it's fair the way Georgi treats my sister," she said in a confessional. Stacey wasted no time holding Georgi's feet to the fire after greetings were said and done. First, she pressed him about if he was enjoying their vacation, which he claimed to be enjoying. "Everything's good? Because I kind of heard there's been some ups and downs," Stacey asked, to which Georgi said, "Well, we know wherever your sister is, there's some drama." That answer did not sit well with Stacey, as she admitted that Darcey may not always be easy to live with, but she still felt worried for her sister. Georgi, however, was more concerned about what Stacey might do at the wedding. "Hopefully Stacey is on her best behavior," he said in a confessional, as Darcey insisted there would be no twin drama between her and her sister. The next day it was time to party. Darcey even had Stacey bring all of their wedding attire, including Georgi's tuxedo and her busty wedding dress, to Bulgaria. However, Georgi was not thrilled with Darcey's outfit choice. Once again, "It doesn't make me feel very comfortable," he said in a confessional. She had all this time to figure out what to wear. What is she expecting? Ultimately, Georgi opted to give up this argument instead. So the two couples then ventured to the venue, which left Darcey impressed. "Wow, your mom and dad went all out," she exclaimed as their car pulled up to the curb. Entering the party, Darcey was most concerned about having to meet the rest of Georgi's family. "That's a lot of pressure for me," she explained in a confessional, "because to feel accepted into their family is the most beautiful feeling, and I just want to make sure that everybody loves me." So after taking part in several more Bulgarian traditions, it was game time for Darcey. First, she exchanged some hugs with Georgi's parents, who were thrilled with the turnout. Darcey then made her way around the room with a wine glass in hand and met each and every person who attended the gathering. Meanwhile, Georgi was very affectionate toward his wife all evening long, something both Stacey and Florian were not used to seeing. "It's nice to see Darcey and Georgi let loose and have fun," Stacey said. "I feel like this is how they should be all the time," added Florian. "This was the first time I've seen Georgi giving attention to her and having fun with her," he explained, noting that both Darcey and Georgi were acting like it was the first day they met. But the longer the night went, the drunker Darcey got. Georgi admitted that Bulgarian parties usually have a lot of drinks, but suggested that Darcey enjoyed his family's wine a little bit too much. Even Stacey and Florian noticed that Darcey was getting tipsy, but Darcey did not seem to care, stating, "Hey, I'd rather be me," while slurring her words. Eventually, the party came to an end. Stacey helped carry the train of Darcey's dress as her sister stumbled across the room, gave Georgi's parents a hug goodbye, and headed out the door. "I feel blessed that everybody could gather," Darcey said in a confessional. "It's a memory to cherish for a lifetime." Added Georgi, "I love these moments when you get together with the family. They're very meaningful and recharging. That's what I was missing for the last 13 years. But things quickly spiraled once the two couples hopped in their car to go home. Darcey began feeling unwell and soon found herself vomiting out the car door. "I've never seen you throw up like this before." Stacey said while holding her sister's hair. Meanwhile, Georgi cracked some jokes at his wife's expense. Both Darcey and Stacey asked Georgi to stop, but he simply laughed off the request. In a confessional, Stacey expressed her displeasure with Georgi's response, suggesting he should have been more focused on caring for his wife. He should be there supporting her, loving her, not making jabs, she explained. She then turned to Florian and said, "You would never let me do that. I mean, you would at least hold my hair." Still, Georgi continued to joke around, even as they pulled away from the venue. "Somebody want to poison the queen?" "Where's the rat?" he quipped, to which Darcey replied, "You're the rat. You tried to poison me." Darcey continued heaving in the car, which left Georgi grossed out. "Ew," he whined as his wife gagged before she mustered enough energy to tell him, "Shut the F up." The anniversary party was supposed to be a glamorous evening, a celebration of love, loyalty, and resilience. For twins Darcey and Stacey Silva, however, nothing ever goes quite as planned. Cameras were rolling, champagne was flowing, and the glittering chandeliers above the lavish event space in Miami cast a glow that screamed perfection. But beneath the surface of the sparkling decor and designer gowns, drama was brewing, and it didn't take long before the night spiraled into one of the Silva twins' most unforgettable blow-ups. The evening began smoothly. Stacey and her husband Florian were celebrating their anniversary, and for once, things felt stable between them. Darcey, always radiant in sequins, came with Georgi on her arm, ready to show that despite their roller coaster past, they were stronger than ever. Friends, family, and a handful of Miami's social elite gathered to toast the couple's love story, while TLC cameras captured every second for the world to see. But then came the cocktails. Darcey, known for her bubbly personality and penchant for enjoying a good time, leaned a little too heavily into the champagne tower. As the glasses clinked and laughter rang out, her energy turned from celebratory to chaotic. A few slurred toasts later, the polished veneer of the party began to crack. Darcey danced too wildly near the dessert table, accidentally spilling chocolate mousse onto an unsuspecting guest's gown. She laughed it off, twirling with carefree abandon, but the tension was already building. Georgi, standing nearby with a glass of whiskey, with a kind of smirk that cameras love. It wasn't a smile of pride or affection. It was the smirk of someone waiting for a storm to unleash, ready to fuel it with a single well-placed jab. And Georgi, as history has shown, has never been one to resist poking the bear.